Hello everyone, welcome back. In this part, we're going to talk about arrow functions in ES6 and JavaScript. You know that we have our functions that we can declare in JavaScript. For example, here we're going to have function with the name of print text right here, which has no parameters, and inside of it, it's going to simply console log this text for us. And if we call our function that we have created right here and run our code, we're going to see our result coming up. Beside of this one, we have another syntaxes. The first one that we can use is that we create some variable right here and giving the function name at the first actually. Let's make this function in that syntax right here. So first, we're going to grab the name of our function right here and create a variable here with this. And then when we assigning that, we use this function keyword right here, then our parentheses and our curly braces. And now if we have this code right here, and if we comment these one out and run our code, you can see again we got the same result. And of course, you can use your variable creation keywords right here. So to make that in global scope, function scope, or whatever you want. But one of the other ways that we can do the same thing is our arrow function. And arrow functions are basically shorter and more simpler to run and maintain inside of our code. And what those are is just like this syntax, but instead of this kind of coding right here, after assigning, we're going to have these parentheses right here, which are going to receive parameters from us, and then we use this kind of equal mark and this greater than sign right here. And after this, we use our curly braces. And whatever code we use right here, it's going to run when we run our function. So here we have our text right here again. And again, if we use our function right here with the name of print text and run our code, you can see that we got the same result. And in arrow functions, when your function has only one statement to execute, you can do it with not having these curly braces around of it. And if we run, you can see again we got this code running right here. And of course, you can separate with semicolon and another statement to run. Let's say here we have another console log of text to right here. Now, if we run, you can see that we got two printing. And pay attention how they are going to print. It's going to print this one first and then this one. But if we use this kind of curly braces right here, and then another one right here, and run our code, it's going to be opposite of that. And this line is going to execute first. And when this ends, after that, this one is going to be execute. And this is optional, but it's common way and good way to start your functions and set your arrow functions into constant variables with const. Because when you use constant variables like this print text right here, it prevents reassigning other things to this function. Let's say here we have our simple function right here at the first with the name of getNumber right here. And what this does, it's going to return only some number for us. Let's say we have number 8 right here. And now here, if we use our function of getNumber and print that result into our console, you can see when we use this, we got this 8 printing here. But if we want to use this thing in arrow functions, what we can do is very simpler, that we use our getNumber name right here, and then we use this arrow function syntax that we learned together, and then we use only the thing that we want to returning. So if we use only this 8 right here, this is as same as we use this return 8 right here. And now if we comment this out and run our code, you can see again we got the same result, but it's very simpler and good way to maintain. Here, let's say we have another function with the name of sum, which is going to receive two variables of a and b right here, and is going to return the sum of those two for us. If we want to have this in our arrow mode, here of course we need to have this sum. Here we're going to receive our parameters inside of these parentheses right here, and when we return, we're going to have our a plus b right here. And this is just same as this. And now let's run these separately. First, let's run our normal function right here. This is our sum function. Let's say we have 1 and 2. Now if we run, you can see that we got this 3. And now let's this time comment this out and run our arrow function. And this time we run, you can see again we got the same result right here. And of course, you can use this kind of arrow functions in your objects too. So let's say here we have our simple object of person, which has this name field, which is Tim, and then this age, which is 19, for example. And then after this, let's say here we have our getInfo function right here. And how we're going to use arrow functions right here is just putting these parentheses right here, then our arrow here, and our code block. That if we want to have multiple line of code, but if we want to have only one statement, here we can use our statement, which is console log temp is 19. And now if we have this person.getInfo function right here and run our code, you can see that we got the same thing. And pay attention that if we want to have some dynamic things going on within our method inside of our persons, as we know, we got these keywords are a little different in our arrow function. What I mean is that if we use, for example, that name right here, which is going to refer to this name and this Tim, you see if we run, we don't get the result. And we got this undefined right here. Because in arrow function, this keyword is not going to refer to this object. And there are no binding of this in arrow functions. So if you use some of the items that you have inside of your object as dynamic parameter inside of your method inside of your objects, it's good to use your old style function right here with your parentheses and your curly braces. Just like this. And now this time if we run, you can see that we got our dynamic thing, and of course you can do anything and any pattern that you want. Let's say here this time we want to print age. Again, we can do anything that we want. Please give a like and subscribe to catch next videos.